Chemist and proponent of intelligent design James Tour wasn't a fan of the...
You know that I have not been a proponent of intelligent design.
And proponent of intelligent design James Tour. I just thought it'd be fun to have like a little persona, you know, Professor Dave. It's just, you know, a little name.
You know, I don't have a PhD in chemistry or anything, but I, you know, did work in, you know, I took courses with laboratory components as an undergrad, and then I did most of a master's in synthetic organic chemistry.
But I didn't really last long. I dropped out in my second semester. I wanted to move up to San Francisco and play music, and then I moved down to Los Angeles again for music opportunities. And but I eventually got this teaching job for organic chemistry at this little trade university. It was a pretty lucky break because with a bachelor's degree, I was only supposed to teach the laboratory portion. But on the first day, the lecture instructor had this freak out. He just took off, and so my boss came up to me and he said, "Look, you got to go teach the lecture. There's nobody here." They offered me the job permanently, but contingent on me getting a master's at the same time. So I went over to Cal State Northridge to give a second shot at a master's degree in chemistry,
and found that I really hated it. I really didn't like it at all. Do not enjoy doing chemistry.
But through a bunch of bureaucracy, quite frankly, I lost that job, so I had to withdraw yet again from the master's program. A lot of you ask very incredulously, "Are you a real professor?" I sit literally in this room like 60 to 70 hours a week, and I chose the name really without much thought. It was kind of tongue-in-cheek, to be honest. I just thought it'd be fun to have like a little persona, you know, Professor Dave. It's just, you know, a little name. They offered me the job through a bunch of bureaucracy. I lost that job. I chose the name. It was kind of tongue-in-cheek, to be honest.
So, and even at that time, I had no interest in being a chemist. Do not enjoy doing chemistry. I really hate it.
Professor Dave, it's just, you know, a little name.
So let's get this straight. Professor Dave is not a real professor. Dave taught courses before getting a master's degree. Dave dropped out of graduate school twice. Dave lost his teaching job. Dave then created a YouTube channel and called himself a professor. Dave has now over 1 million dumb subscribers, being the majority made of globe-tards. Dave then attacks one of the top 10 chemistry professors in the world. Dave is the most arrogant globe-tard on the internet.
Okay, riddle me this. Like, I had to do a bunch of research tonight because I was like, how did we get back to Earth from the moon? This might sound like crazy, but like I researched it for probably 30 minutes and I still can't find an answer. So we have this here. This is this missile that went to the moon. So you're telling me that this whole thing went to the moon, part of it fell off, whatever. This thing right here is that picture that you see on the moon, but it came out of here and perfectly landed on the moon, standing up when there's very little gravity? That makes no sense. Can somebody explain that? Second of all, this little cone tip here is how we got back, apparently. But how did we get back? Did it launch? It can't just fall off the moon and go into the Earth. That's not how it works. You just float around if there's no gravity in space. I'm not buying it, man. Like, they don't have the technology to build something on the moon to launch this thing. And what happens if they got stranded up there? Nobody would have known they were gone. Like, they would have just been up there and that's it. That's too risky. I'm not buying it. Can somebody explain this in real terms? Because I've done research and I can't figure out how it makes sense.
They want us to believe that this object right here is over 800 million miles away. And yet, we're able to see this kind of detail with an amateur telescope. Now, granted, it is a very nice telescope, a very expensive telescope, but still, 800 million miles away. Do you realize how far that actually is? You can't even comprehend such a distance. Your mind cannot even process or imagine such a distance, let alone see something from that far away. And second of all, they want us to believe that that red spot right there is bigger than the entire Earth. That is about the dumbest thing I have ever heard of my entire life. Oh my gosh. If you believe that, you will believe anything. You really will. You'll believe anything. That's why people are lining up to get these clot shots, because they believe anything men in white coats tell them to believe. It's called faith. You're in a scientific cult religion, and you've been deceived. All of us. We've been deceived our whole lives, but the difference in most of you guys and us is we're starting to realize it. We're uncovering the lies and exposing the lies and realizing the truth. But you guys are choosing to take the blue pill and stay in the matrix. It's like you want to stay asleep. This is not another world. This is a luminary. This is an orb of light. Just like our moon is an orb of light. The sun is an orb of light. The sun is to rule the day, and the moon and the stars rule the night. But this is a very beautiful shot of Jupiter here, I must say. Just remember, it's okay to ask questions. In fact, question everything. Stay safe, and God bless.
What do you mean, bro? They shoot rockets into space all the time. No, they don't. No, they don't. Yeah, they shoot it into the Bermuda Triangle area. Hold up. If you're standing there and looking up, obviously it looks like they're going straight up, but they never go straight up, guys. They never go straight up. Let me tell you another little fun fact real quick. Walt Disney has partial ownership of NASA. It's an actual picture of the Earth that they photoshopped with that word in it, just like Disney does, right? Walt Disney. And he has access to Hollywood Studios, which is where they filmed the moon landing. And he's not even trying to hide it. He's not even trying to hide it. Come on. You can't leave the firmament because there's nothing but water up there. All the planets and stars we see look like that. It's a light glimmering through water. I'm not gonna stop until you sheeple wake the f up. Just wake up.
This is what it would look like living on a ball orbiting the sun at 66,000 miles per hour while shooting through the Milky Way at 500,000 miles per hour as it moves 1,200,000 miles per hour through infinity. Nothing could exist on something moving the first speed, never mind the other two. It's literally insane to believe such nonsense. Don't speak to me about the speeds being relative because there's absolutely nothing relative about the heliocentric model. Most humans pass out at high speeds within 10 seconds, and these speeds are fractions of the speeds mentioned at the beginning.
Breathe, wait for me, breathe. Terminate, let go of the stick, hold your string, hold your string, hold your string.
You literally wouldn't be able to exist in the heliocentric model. The entire concept is an insult to intelligence and a mockery to the Creator.
Right.
This rabbi knows the earth is flat. He knows scriptures does not support a spinning bowl. Earth is space.
Originally, the moon and the sun were the same size. That's originally. Eventually, very soon, all the misconceptions, what people think, will be obvious to us. People think that the sun is 99, million kilometers away from us? 99,000 light years away. Somebody went with a tape measure and measured it? What kind of nonsense is that? There's no such thing as space. You know, this is the biggest lie ever. People think that there's space. There's no space. And the moon and the sun that you see, it's in the firmament. It's not outside of the firmament. All the stars that you see and the moon and everything, it's in the firmament. I told you already a million times, nothing can go out of the firmament. They're telling you that people landed on the moon, people that they found things on Mars. What kind of nonsense is that? Somebody today sent me a video that was, you can find it, if you want I'll send you the link, from WikiLeaks, showing the entire production that they shot in the desert in Nevada of the people walking on the moon. You see like the whole production.
Aliens are not demons. And no, they're not from outer space either. The modern day church likes to preach that the Old Testament is not relevant today. But oh boy, is the modern day church wrong. The scariest thing to me is just how little the modern day Christian reads their Bible, and especially how little they read of the Old Testament, where it literally says in Genesis 6 just how the Nephilim were created. And moving on through the entire Old Testament, it talks about the Nephilim. The Bible also talks about how we live in a firmament. The earth is flat, and the Bible mentions that many, many times. And that's just not up for debate. There's a very important thing to know about this stuff. When the modern day Christian finds out that our earth is flat and that aliens are Nephilim and that they are still walking among us, an entire paradigm breaks. Because science cannot comprehend a flat earth, and science could never explain how Nephilim exist. We live in a world that was intricately and intentionally designed just for us. There are no planets that are livable because planets are literally stars, and we live in a firmament. We cannot go to outer space. We never went to the moon. We have literally never been to Mars because Mars isn't a planet, it's a star. Once you start looking into this stuff, you can't look out anymore.
Have you ever heard a religious believer in the earth being a ball claim that Eratosthenes proved it hundreds of years ago? Well, today we're going to completely destroy that ideology. Stick around. First off, the angles of the shadows cast by the sun being different at different longitude and latitude lines is not exclusive evidence that the terra firma, or the Earth's surface, is convexed. Okay? Get that straight. If the Earth is flat, which it is, and the sun is local, which it is, it would cast those same shadows, as you see on these two models. It's not definitive or exclusive of either model. Again, very obvious for the critical thinking. Eratosthenes proved nothing. Look, these two bottles under a local light cast different shadows. But let's dig a little more. Let's see exactly how he got his calculations. Eratosthenes divided 360 by 7.2 and got 50, which told him that the distance between Alexandria and Syene, 500 miles, was 1/50th of the total distance around the Earth. See this number right here? How did Eratosthenes get the 360 degrees assumed sphere that we are living on apparently? He assumed it. That's it. He assumed the Earth was a ball, took the degree of the shadow cast, divided it, and told everyone it proved the Earth's a ball. That's called a begging the question fallacy. Eratosthenes proved nothing. There's no definitive evidence that we are on a ball spinning and orbiting the sun. If you need to share this with a zealot, a globe zealot, please do. Share it with them so they can get angry and realize they're a part of a religious dogmatic belief that the Earth's a ball. It's not provable. There's no exclusive evidence the Earth's a ball. Have a great day.
I've been saying this over and over. That compasses only work on a flat Earth. Listen to this expert at McMurdo Station in Antarctica.
And that's where McMurdo Science Station is. And I'm going to show you about how compasses work. So here's my compass I brought from home. And there's a difference between magnetic north and geographical north. Geographical north is the North Pole, where all the lines of longitude meet. The magnetic south pole is going to be where the magnetic pole lines up. And just so happens that the magnetic south pole right now isn't even on the continent of Antarctica. It's off of Antarctica. And there's a thing called declination. That's the difference between the two, geographic and magnetic. Currently, it's about 140 degrees difference, which means that if your compass did work, it would lead you in almost the complete opposite direction. So I thought I'd show you this though. Here's my compass, and you can see that white needle is pointing down. Look at, as I'm rotating around, that compass doesn't even spin. The needle stays the same. That white needle is dragging down on the bottom of the compass. So kind of fun to play with, but not real useful. I mean, you could rotate it around and try to get that off of the bottom of the compass, but for the most part, not real useful. Now we have a GPS here. Show you my GPS. It has a compass on it, compass page. And the key thing you need to remember with the GPS is you got to be moving if you want to get the direction that you're going. So if you'll look at this, you can see we're headed about in a southwest direction. And if you look out, you can see White Island and Black Island. And right between those is where the South Pole is. So as long as you're moving, the GPS compass can be reliable. We've used it out in the field on this trip. When we get dropped off by helicopters, we use GPS to know where we're going and how to navigate back and where we're going to get our samples from. If we have any special finds, then we'll mark them with GPS. If we find like seal mummies, dead seals that dry up, possibly hundreds of years old, we'll mark those with GPS. So
the Earth is flat, right? Ever wondered why all airplane flight paths are curved on the map? It's to fit the round Earth narrative. But here's the kicker. Check any flight tracking app during a long-haul flight. The path is always straight. But hold up. Don't let a TikTok tell you what to believe. Research, question, learn. It's your world after all.
The Flat Earth map dates back over 1,000 years. This map is credited to being created by a Persian astronomer, Al-Biruni, who lived between 975 AD to 1048 AD. It's the official map of the United Nations and also the United States Geological Survey. It used to be present in many places before the creation of NASA and the Antarctic Treaty in 1959. Here you see it with Admiral Byrd. This map has been restored by Dmitry from Russia with suggestions of mine, Idialenkar. Known by my YouTube channel Flat Earth Banjo, I asked Dmitry to include the Bermuda Triangle and Point Nemo, a place deep in the Pacific where NASA buries rockets. Then Robert Tozzi, a professional mapmaker, came along and enhanced the map even more. There are many people now selling this map online, but I would greatly appreciate if you can order it from my store. Doing this, you can support this Flat Earth channel a great deal. Thank you so very much.